What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new YouTube video. I got this question multiple times. I figured I'd answer it. I know I answered this before, but I didn't go too deep into it. Is how to control for profit margins on Redbubble. What kind of margins should you go with? Should you go with the default 20%? Should you go with higher? Should you go with lower? You probably heard advice from many people saying always charge more, and that's not always the case. You want to be extremely self-aware with your designs. Let's go ahead and head over to redbubble.com right now so I could show you here what I'm talking about. These examples here of these dragon, I guess you could say, custom art pieces, in my opinion, they should be more than the default 20% because they're advanced. When I search for the word, let's say dragon, right? Let's just go ahead and search for a dragon, right? Remember these pieces right here. I feel like the pieces that we just saw look a little bit better, right? If we compare these pieces of art to what we just saw back here. Now, it's based on, obviously, it's subjective, right? It just depends on what you believe and what you think. But like I said, that's based on my belief. So you want to ask yourself, look at the competition of the niche that you're putting designs in and see, are your designs better than the competition? If they're better, then you can charge more, because the idea is that there's going to be more desirability, right? If they're worse, then charge less. I mean, nobody's going to really pay more for a product that's just not attractive. Let's be honest. So even if you decide to charge more for a product, it doesn't seem like it should be, if it doesn't seem like it's attractive, it's just not going to sell. Here's another example. There's this picture right here that says, "Be savage, not average." To me, this is something that's very average, and I'll just be honest. It's not something that blows me away. It's not something that's attractive. I would go with different fonts. The spacing is probably not the best. I could just tell that a product like this shouldn't be sold at the 20% profit margins. It doesn't look like it would actually make money. Now, see, something like this is a little bit more attractive, and it flows in terms of an average level, an average base, right? This unicorn design here. So for something like this, I would charge an average 20%, maybe even a little bit less because of the way the text is. I mean, this creator here could have worked a little bit harder on the font to change things up and make it a little bit more attractive, and you never know, it might get that extra sale a month or sale a year or sale a week, depending on how many sales it gets, but that extra, 5% of sales. So that's essentially the way I kind of control for profit margins. If I know that I have a piece of art that's really going to blow away the competition, I'm going to do what I have to do to make more money, and that's going to be essentially I'm charging more. Now, what you could do is you could run a few tests. You can create designs with small variations, right? So let's just say this design here, this future nurse text, right? You take this, you create a few different variations, and what you do is you have different profit margins, and you memorize what those profit margins are. So let's say you have this design, it's at the base 20%. You have another design, let's say in the color blue, that's at 15%, and then you have a pink one that's at 30%. And what you want to do is you want to test the level of sales between each one. The idea is you would use the same tags for all of them because you want to make sure that definitely does apply. You want to upload them around the same time, and you want to sit back and wait and see what the results are. If you see that clearly there's more sales for one than the other, then the real variable, the only thing that you really changed other than the design, is the price, right? And you might want to, play around with the price. You might want to see, what you're going to do and how you can set things up. But keep in mind that design does play a role. But at the end of the day, it only makes sense that you should charge more for a more superior product, a better product, right? And like I said, there are some artists that, make a blanket statement and say all the time, no matter what, you should be charging more for your products. And I completely disagree. I think it depends on the quality of your product, right? It just doesn't make sense to charge more for a subpar product, right? So that's really my whole ideas on it. And I also got a question from somebody saying, how can I get sales? I have 100 designs. I don't know what to do. Guys, you want to keep in mind that 100 sales, 200 sales, 300 sales in the essence of Redbubble is really nothing. I mean, there's over 36 million posts on Redbubble. Over 36 million. If we just go over here and hit the search button, it will tell us the amount of total posts on Redbubble. There's 36,384,180 results. If you upload 300 designs, ask yourself from a percentage standpoint, what is the likelihood that you actually get a sale, right? And we've done other videos on showing how to dominate a specific niche, the divide and conquer method, all these different, the 7 iron rules to success on Redbubble. We've done all those videos where we talk about, kind of the different success habits that you need, the different tactics. We've even done, courses on tagging, for example, autopilotpassiveincome.com. You could head over to. You have the Redbubble tagging course. You have the POD design course. We've done all the different content on how to actually get more sales. But realize that one of the things that's going to control sales the most is working at scale. The more designs you create, the better chance that you have of increasing the chance that you have a sale. But you want to realize that even if you create 100, even if you create 200, in the broad spectrum, it's not just about numbers, right? There's not just one characteristic. There's not just one detail that makes you a success. It's combining multiple different things to create that success formula. It might be creating a lot of designs. It might be tagging properly. It might be titling properly. It might be having the best quality of designs. And all that comes together and actually generates enough income for you where people are actually buying your products and you're living a quote-unquote passive income lifestyle, which obviously if you're working on Redbubble every day, it's not passive income yet, but it could be in the future if you just stopped working on it. But at the end of the day, guys, the whole approach to this is try to perfect yourself, try to improve your weaknesses so they can become your strengths. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. If anybody wants access to these courses, if you feel like you need help with your designing, you feel like you're spending way too much time in your designs, check out the Autopilot Passive Income Design course. If you feel like that tagging is your weak point, you're not getting enough traffic for your designs, an easy general rule that I always say is look at your traffic. If you have 200, let's say, designs on your account, you should have at least 400 visits per day. There should be at least 2 visits for each design a day. Now, obviously, it doesn't matter if one design has 10 and one design has 0 visits. You want to do an average based on numbers. So just a basic multiplication equation, right? And if you're not getting that much traffic, you might want to look at altering the way you tag it. If you need help with that, check out our Redbubble tagging course. It also comes with guidance on how to gain traffic from Google as well. I've said this before, but 70 to 80% of my traffic from Redbubble comes from Google, comes from SEO, comes from organic, comes from the tagging, comes from all these different things that when you string them all together, that creates the best formula for SEO. Now, yes, do I use social media? Do I use Instagram? All that stuff? Absolutely. And you guys have seen the results on that. I mean, with just a basic social media bot like the one I showed on igbots.org, you can get 30, 40, 50 visits a day to your store. And like I said, 70 to 80% comes from organic. So if I'm doing this, you best believe that the traffic is coming in organic is going to overwhelm the social media traffic. The only reason why we use social media traffic in the beginning is just to help give us that boost, that jolt. And I've actually made a video on that as well where I talked about how to actually boost up in the algorithm. So last thing I want to say is if you guys ever do want to change the profit margins, just go over here to your product as you're uploading it, and I would do a custom setup here. Unless you have like a certain number that or certain, and usually you have to have some sort of intuition. You know that a certain design is going to sell more on a particular type of product, right? That just makes more sense. For example, if I create let's say a design that would work best on a cooking apron, it's more logical that that's going to sell versus on a duvet cover, right? Maybe it's the quote that the product has, or maybe it's the design, or whatever the case may be. But use your intuition, use your just natural logical thinking to apply the certain profit margins for certain products. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. All the links will be in the pinned comment. Peace out. Bye.